light on that, we can talk. Please pay attention to that. We don't want to go in circles. What we are focused on right tonight, inshallah, is trying to answer this question. What could be the solution for those issues? What are the solution? What can be done at the family level, at the masjid level, for the young, for the youth themselves? What should we do as a community, as individuals, to face those problems, to encounter those problems? And if you have anything, please feel free and go ahead to share with us what you have in mind. And I will share with you at the end some tips for mainly for the parents to have some successful communication and raising some successfully raising Muslim teens or Muslim generation, inshallah. Brother Yusuf. And again, if you would like to participate, please come here so the world can watch you. Yeah, you can take the mic and give us some solutions.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Can we request that whoever wants to participate, at least give us the idea in 1 or 2 minutes, not take long presentation.
Concise, inshallah. Okay. So please put forward. That's not for Yusuf, obviously, for anybody who comes here. Put forward the idea. Make it brief and concise, to the point. Jazakallah khair.
So my point is really bringing up something you mentioned last week, which was that there used to be like classes directed towards teaching people how to be good parents, and I think that something like that should be done for like newlyweds or for like youth who are interested in getting married or anything like that. Just having class teaching them like what does it mean to actually be a parent? How should you deal with your children?
Okay.
Etc. That's it.
Jazakallah khair. And actually, this is one of my points or tips. I'll share that at the end, inshallah. Let me put it right now. For parents, they have to take parents seriously. As serious as a full-time job. Actually, it's more important than a full-time job. So your full-time job, see how serious you take it as a source of income and a way to support yourself. You go every day at certain time and you leave at certain time and you have certain load of work to finish. You take it seriously. Otherwise, you're going to be outside of that. So you have to take parents as seriously as your full-time job. Sometimes you might need to quit. Some people work 1 job and 2 jobs, and in the weekends, not giving time to the kids. They have to take it seriously. And what Yusuf is referring to is maybe you can seek some courses or read some books how to be a good parent. Okay, solutions. How can we solve those problems? We are now in the process of brainstorming. We are not expecting things in detail, but what do you think? How should we, as a community or as an individual, deal with the identity problem, the drugs issues, any of those problems that we talked about? And actually, if you guys request whatever you request that makes your life easier to solve your problems, feel free and to come and claim the mic and talk about that as a solution for your challenges. Anybody would claim the mic? All right. How can we solve the identity problem? I will ask you the question. If we agree that we have an identity problem, who am I? Am I that Muslim person who should go by what is being taught in the masjid and what my parents say and what the community norms and Muslims do, or should I go by my peers and groups of my circles and what I see in the media? Who am I? How should we solve that issue and make life much easier? And by the way, it's not only a problem that's facing Muslims, it's facing youth at large. Because now we have so many groups and so many challenges that you need to fit in somewhere. And I don't know why people, yes, brother, they see it.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Parents and as a Muslim, why majority of the immigrants became early to this land here, decimated, I can call it. I mean, they didn't stand firm for what they believe. It's very important to identify yourself and stand firm what you believe in. And when you believe in something, your kids, if they want to follow you, you have to practice it in real life. You don't practice it in real life, you don't set example to them, I mean, they will decimate it. They will disintegrate. And that's the real problem as Muslim or youth. The youth, they want always look for example. If the house doesn't have example, or their friend, they are not their example. And always as a parent, if we want to be our identity, stand for it and also respect it, we have our kids work as their friendship have to be connected based in Islam. That's very important.
I get your point, brother Desi. So make sure that you teach them by example, and not only by preaching them, but you have to set an example for them. That's the point, right? Like Allah. So this is a very important point that many times we teach or we preach how to be good. This is where you should be, but you are not there. You see your father. Actually, right today, I'm giving an example. It's not too bad. I always teach my kids and my students to eat healthy, right? And I always tell them, you know, chips is not the best to eat, and cookies, this and that. And I just fall in the trap. I'm not saying it's haram or anything. I didn't teach them it's haram. There was a bag of plastic bag that's full of chips, bags of chips in the office in there. Now after the khutbah, I had a program before the khutbah, and then the khutbah, and then I have a class after that. So the next time I'm gonna eat is gonna be in several hours, and I was already hungry. So I had to pick up one of these chips bags in the office. I was inside the office and I finished it. By the time I finished it, all the kids, they started coming to the office. Sheikh, you told us that we shouldn't eat chips. Now you're eating chips. How could you do that? And then I go upstairs, everybody's talking about it. Until after the class, everybody is basically talking. I said, oh, subhanAllah, I didn't think it's gonna. So, but I learned something today, that I have to practice what I preach, because there's a lot of eyes that are looking at me. I did not do it in front of them. I was thinking, should I eat that chips or not? And then I said, I'm in the office now, probably they will not see me. But they were looking from the window and from the door. All of them. So, yes, that's today. So you might be ruining most of what you are teaching them by your actions. So, you know, better teach them by example.
Did you check YouTube for evening news that somebody posted? Can I say something?
Tafadhal, go ahead.
I think the solution, the problem we have has many folds, and the solution has to be different level. The house, the family, of course, one, and the second one, as important as for us as a community. And we need to do that to present the solution as a community, starting from this program or form or whatever you call it. On my way to the masjid, I was listening to NPR, and there was leading neurologist research expert on the subject of drug, the effect of drug, alcohol, and recreation marijuana, or what they call it, on the brain, and how it blocks the receptor of the brain to learn. So basically, and the effect of that is several folds in the brain of the youth, much more than the adult. The effect is extended and so on. And I was wondering what our forum here, we really need to activate it in such a way that, an example, we have neurologists in the community. Why not listening to some really good presentation from one of the neurologists? The same thing with the pediatrician. So if we can make this form more active, more focused, and then comes out with a solution, then I think we will be a good way, practical steps to solve our problem. Otherwise, we will keep on talking. Jazakumullah
Okay.
khair.
Jazakallahu khairan. So knowing the effects, educating ourselves about the effects of the example he's talking about of marijuana or any of those things. If you do, then they cover the mind. And according to what the brother is saying, they block the receptors in the mind's like the capability or capacity to learn, which is much more in youth or in younger ages. So that kind of blocks the mind, and that's why probably Allah made anything that covers the mind haram. Not because He doesn't want us to enjoy. Actually, He's going to make it available for us in Jannah to enjoy that feeling or whatever. But you're not going to get drunk. You're going to make it in Jannah, in heaven. But no, not getting drunk. But here in dunya, no, you need your brain. It's the most important thing. Just look at some of the actions of people who get drunk, and you will know they turn from humans into something else. They're still moving, doing things, but they are completely different people. So we need to learn from experts. Yusuf, please feel free, youth. I'm very happy today that the first time and the majority of them are youth, mashallah. What are the solutions? What do you want from the masjid, from your parents, from your community, from the society at large? Talk about your issues and suggest solutions, Brother Yusuf. Alaikum salam.
I think one possible solution for the identity issue would be providing somehow a forum, open forum where people can inconspicuously to us hide, or not hide their identity, but just to protect their privacy, kind of vent and mention their frustrations or what they don't understand, like that, kind of get it off their chest, the problem that they have, and then afterwards to maybe talk about, well, what should their identity be, etc.
Okay. This is very important because, for example, let's talk about the example of parents. Many times the youth getting to the age of teenagers and trying to, they see things, they are growing up, they are learning things, they see others doing things. Maybe they can talk to the parents, or maybe that's already shut off from beginning. They know that they cannot talk to parents about things like that. Or if they talk, they will be faced with so many other taboos that we cannot talk about this, or you're still young for this. No, we actually have to open that. And the example for that is our Prophet ﷺ, and the very clear example that this young person, young man, he is growing. He got the hormones, and he is a Muslim, trying to be a good Muslim. But on the other hand, he is feeling that inclination towards the opposite gender. So he came clearly to the Prophet ﷺ, Ya Rasulullah, please make it legal for me as zina, fornication. That's what he's asking. He put it straightforward. The point is that Rasul ﷺ create that platform of openness that a young person would feel comfortable to come and say, Ya Rasulullah, what do you read here? What is he saying? He's saying, Ya Rasulullah, it's so much, it's affecting me. And I'm trying to be a good Muslim, and you are telling us what's halal and haram. Please make something, offer me a solution. And then the Rasul ﷺ did not shut him up. He talked to him. Some kind of logic going back and forth. Do you like this to happen to your family, to your mother, to your sister? So he accepted from him. Or first of all, he created that environment that he can talk. He can put the problem there and talk about that. And nowadays, it's much more clear. And pornography and what have you, with a few clicks, you can see everything, and you can be anywhere and talk to anybody. That's the society we live in nowadays. So there should be some kind of solutions for that. We have to talk about that. We have to take an action to solve that. Open forum and venting is very important. And I personally urge you to feel free to, come to me at personal level at some of our halaqat and talk about issues, and we can, hopefully at least talking about things will be the first step to solve the problem or to share the issues with others. So yes, I agree with you, Brother Yusuf. Other solutions for any of the problems, especially yes, brother. What's your name, brother?
Muhammad Sani.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
With me, I think it should be education. Education, and the meaning that if the kids know the effect of what the drugs do to somebody, or somebody who has gone through a process, or they think okay, I can do the drugs and go to rehab and I'll be fine. But if they actually see what it does to them, you know what I mean, that will give them a different perspective of what it is to do or not to do the drugs. And problem with the identity, do we have a process of if the kids get a certain age, do we have a means or a way for them to, okay, if you get to this age, then we have so and so that you're going to get married to, or we know that when you do this, then you're going to get married to, and all that stuff. You know, so if we have those things in play, then we know that our kids wouldn't be going outside or doing anything. They know that, okay, at this stage, they're going to get married, or they know, inshallah, they're going to find somebody to get married to. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
If I may have add a small comment, well, Midhat, you can come here. One of the problems, one of the root issues that leads, and we were talking about this one time in the youth, Imam's conference, it was mainly for youth, and one of the psychologists, he talked about this. He said many of the youth problems are coming from this. He asked us first to introduce ourselves in 3 sentences or 3 lines, something like this. And every single person of us being imams, all of the people attending were either imams or youth directors or things like that. So it's easy to find things to introduce yourself into in 5 lines or 3 lines, something like that. I'm an imam, I studied this, I graduated this year, I have this family, and I work at this place, and I used to work. So you have your own identity and personality. He said, why I'm asking you this? If we ask any of the teens, introduce yourself in 5 lines, they would not be able to do that because they don't have this yet. You have a degree, they don't have this. They don't have this yet. You have your job, you have your achievements. So they are in the process of building themselves. They are still the only thing they can think of, I'm son of such and such, you know, he will refer to his father. Yes, I go to this school and I'm that, how many years old, and that's it. I like that, this is my hobby. So he doesn't have that personality yet. At this age, moving from being child completely, they have no problem in associating with the parents and even completely being dependent on the parents, and that's normal. But moving from that age to the age of, you know, being separate, but they don't have this personality yet. So they will try to find to fill this gap somehow. They have to belong somewhere. That's why it's so important at this age that they have something positive that they associate themselves with, being it a hobby, some skills that they do, so they can easily say, I am the athlete such and such, I have achieved such and such, I have achieved this and that. Or it could be like anything that they can refer to, anything that belongs to them, that builds their identity. And it should be something that they like and they love, not only the school. School is okay, some people are, that's their area of, you know, achievement. They like to achieve good in school, so they can refer to that. So it's very important to understand that if they don't have it, if they have this area void, they will go to that group, this group, and let me try this because it's gonna make you look cooler or sound cooler or whatever it is. That's what the mentality where they are coming from. So, Brother Midhat.
Hello, when we talk about identity, we talk about 2 parts actually. Identity with yourself and identity with the community and the family and the community at large. And it's very important, we have to understand how to react toward these 2 parts. The identity with yourself is covered by who you are, where have you, I mean, what your aim and the goals in life, what you wanted to do. And the Muslim, also another thing you want to understand how actually your reaction in the society, in the community, and in life at large. Now, if you go with the first part, it's covered with religious most of the time. How you've been born as Allah, you know, you're born as by nature as a Muslim, as we know from the Prophet Hadith, But as you grow up, the family role to play with you is very important. But also, your role is very important to educate yourself and to abide with what is Islam and what is actually what is community at large
Solution,
looking
Dr.
for.
Medhat, if you don't mind. What are the solutions
Yeah.
for some of these
Okay.
goals?
So the second part is how to react in the society. And to act in the society, it needs the person or the youth to actually understand the environment. And to understand the environment, you have to get that through also yourself, family, and through the masjid, and through your attendance and participating in the society. I've been emphasizing that many times since we started this series, your participation in the society. So, if we're talking about yourself, of course, I'm not going to talk about what is actually make me to do the wrong thing here or that, because this is actually you have to work on it, and the masjid should be working to give you the right education in that. But the very important thing is that when you get, we need to have the person who deal with the children or with the youth who actually, besides the imam, who actually is really knows the environment which he lives in. He really knows how address, make the youth to be actually more understanding to the environment. It's very important to understand the society which you are in. Otherwise, you're going to have a crisis, identity crisis. You will be feeling you are negative, you are not nothing, is you are just not. You have to blend. And to blend, it doesn't mean that you have to blend, it means that to sacrifice your Islamic moral thing like that. No, is you are have to be participate and but I choose you, choose
So
us
to participate in the
in
society, I'm trying to
participating.
get a point in here, something to the point. Participate in the society.
Participating in society is actually when you get knowledge, you need to really to be trying to determine the right resources, and that actually we have as a community here to have somebody who actually every community in your state have to have somebody to address these issues with youth and to be part of education, not only at the religious. No, I mean religious is a part, but in education of the environment and how to bring the community and the youth to be a part of the society. This
I got
way,
this point, Dr. Medhat. We got this point.
this
Participation in
way
the society is very
this way
important.
you will be actually uh, your identity will be formed better, and you will know that you are something in society and you are doing something in the best way that is fit the environment which you are in, fit yourself and the family which you are in. So it's very important two things to get the
Allah
first
يجزيك
part and
خير.
second part.
Barakallah feek. Jazakallah khair. So again, I echo what he's saying is not participating in society at large is okay, but not everybody would feel that I have to participate in the politics or this or that. Find what you like to do. And many times youth, it's going to be some sports. And do it not just for fun. This is something from a personal experience. Go ahead and play and achieve something. When you learn something, do it perfect. And by default, when you fill that void with something good, I'm giving one example. Actually, another example is they participate in the society. And mashallah, some of our youth here are already participating. But invest in your individual capabilities as well. You know you are good in whatever. It could be swimming. Go ahead and enhance that because that's going to fill a big void and it's going to eliminate some wrong directions that you might go to because of not having time and not filling that void. So we are improving and we are moving forward. Some youth participation. Ahmed, please. Solutions.
I just wanted to add that it's very important for youth to, like for the parents especially, to be aware of who they hang out with and very important because the youth are really affected by the friends that they make, and if they make good friends, then they'll obviously be in like they'll make good friends and they'll do the right things. But obviously, if they're with wrong friends, as simple as it sounds, it affects them greatly.
Okay. So right as you have now before the lawns are coming back again, it's spring. If you don't feed and weed, or weed and feed, whatever it is, if you don't take care of the weeds and make sure your lawn is strong, the weeds are probably going to grow up and maybe take over the grass that you're trying to take care of. So the company is very important. One rotten, apple and good group or good apple amongst good apples is gonna uh, make them all bad. Okay, some solutions. Omar, come on, please.
I've learned anything throughout my life. I think I've learned that to help about the identity problem that don't count your friends or anybody to do something for you or to help you find your identity. You have to find it yourself. You have to explore, and you have to not count on what your friends do to be like them. And that's if you be like them, you're following, not finding your identity.
So shape your identity. Basically, you have to find a way to shape your identity and force yourself into others through what you're. Okay, got this one. And I have an example. We are online now. I hope my friend, he's very close to me and he probably would watch me. But this is an example here. I just grow up like everybody else. This friend of mine, first year in the college, for some reason, it's part of our Islam. You have to choose good name for your child, right? But for some reason, his parents chose some kind of not the best of names for him. Everybody in the school, even though he studied in Azhar and everything, they were picking up at him. His name was really, I'm not gonna mention his name, but it was not the best of names. He came from a very small village and it's very strange name. So everybody was picking on him on that name. And first year he was not achieving the best. I remember he was after me in the score, but he managed to by the last year of the school, he changed his name. He didn't like his name, so and it's not easy to do even here in the States, changing the social security. I'm not even sure if he can do that. It's as difficult as that, or could be even harder to change your name. But he managed to do that, and he got the procedures, and he chose a good name for himself, Mustafa, mashallah. And he's very good guy. He's a man now. He chose that name, and he kind of used the soft power to make everybody calling him Mustafa instead of the other name. We just found ourselves after a few years just calling him that name. And he achieved so good in the school. And he was basically, I saw him in the process of shaping his identity himself. And he was leading a lot of activities towards the last year where we were inviting speakers from outside, some of them from the States. He was like the guy responsible for this committee, and he was doing a lot of successful things, and he ended up scoring like second, if I'm not wrong, not first. No, yes, first in the entire college. He was there. So that's an example. You can shape your identity. Don't just wait and people picking up on you or who I am or I am trying to fit in. No, find what you like to do the best, and maybe this is your area. Make it your area in there, and don't look much at what people are saying. You have to build your own, personality, inshallah. Again, trying to find some solutions for our issues and our problems. Anybody wants to? Hamid, please.
I think mainly participation. Amno said we have to participate in the community. That's a really big thing because what's the point of a community if you're not participating in it? Participation is a big thing. When we have events like open discussion or anything, it's a big deal to participate. It's a big deal to be involved. What's the point of being in a community if you here once a year. You know, it's cool to be here once a week and participate in events, participate. And my main intention to be here right now is saying that we have an event on Thursday at MSA. It's our first annual banquet. It's mainly for non-Muslims, but it would be great if you guys would show up. It would look good for us, especially to other people who come and show up. It will be on April 21st from 5 to 7, and I hope you guys are there.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Muhammad. That's in the Gulf Coast, right?
Yeah, Student Union East.
Okay, I made a quick announcement about it today, but I didn't have all the details, so you can talk to Brother Muhammad. Participation through example. So yeah, you can participate as youth, and yes, this is how you make up some. If you go to school, like many kids would go. Actually, this is how many, if not all, the Islamic activism in the West here started. It started back in the 60s, and it mainly started with the MSA, when those Muslim students came together, formed groups, and from that came ISNA and some other organizations, and so many, Mayana and other. I studied that in detail. So we have to get together, and we have to be visible in the society and participate, not just be that beneficiaries and consumers, and not introducing, or otherwise we'll be always judged and we'll be always responsive and taking reaction, rather than having an action and being proactive. Okay, I got this. So anybody else can give us some hint as far as the solutions for our issues and problems? Dr. Ahmed, fadl. Come on, please.
Very quickly, I found that time management is one of the most important issues in achieving and improving.
What was it again?
Time management.
Time management.
Especially for the youth, because I think like failure in time management causes a lot of confusion and distraction. Everybody wants to do too many things, a lot of attraction, either fun or non-fun, plus the school, all other extracurricular activities. But I would like to emphasize on one point, and I remember الله عليه وسلم أحب الأعمال إلى الله أدومها وإن قل. The most beloved deed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is whatever is routine. Okay? Don't plan for very big projects that take most of your time, then you start doing everything after. Just assign yourself or dedicate to one thing that you can do, let's say every day, including the prayer and all obligations. But just small thing of every week, I will attend this lecture, I will attend this activity, I will do this, I will do this person, and make sure it fits in your time management.
Jazakallah khair. Very good. You don't want to be talking only about identity issues. You can talk about gender issues if you like. You can talk about some of the other affairs. They're like this young man, he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the hadith and said, I have this, Ya Rasulullah, and I feel it, and make it legal for me. How can we solve that problem in there? Not a problem. I mean, how can we deal with that natural tendency of the hormones working in people, making the boy feeling that he's a boy now, he's a man now, or a girl feeling that she's a girl, and there's, some inclination going on in there. And that is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who created us, is dealing with that, and He's given us those guidelines to deal with them. Solutions. I go back to Brother Muhammad. What he said is parents could help, teens getting through that by probably giving them, helping them, not shaping, not forcing partners on them, but giving them an idea. Here's what you're going to do in the next few years, getting your driver license, getting this, getting, finishing your school, whatever it is. And then we are probably considering sharing with them, giving them some clues about this, future, how it is like. Because many times youth, they don't know what they're going to do. They don't have any clue about the future. And parents could help them get over that, inshallah. Any solution? Anybody? Sisters? Sister Lena?
We have a problem about asking.
Yusuf, can you turn on the fans, please? Alaikum salam. Go ahead. Befriend your son. Befriend your son. Okay.
And that is very important issue because parents should not let to understand the brain in the I think there's a stage, I think our community they have to understand through this now their own these kids they have to be taught treated as your friends.
Okay.
And you give them not one year, you give them both years to listen.
Right.
Even working on the same they would say, go with it. And share the experience because if they are taking their angel, not how to process and really their no one.
Including the parents themselves. They are not angels.
So as parents, we stop into their shoes and where they stand and listen and don't really say what they think. Because I'm sure 100% you went through the same thing and the same, like saying whatever the business is.
Okay.
And I think from that system, you are really being good friends, like friends with one or your daughter. That's the time where you can really become from we have. And parents, as a male, they have to participate in this community. We have every year here, mom and daughter. We have much of a very good for mom, but we're really caring for our children. But I think we're lacking that and fun. We can solve some of those problems and some of the that. They come here and they make a team of soccer. That is fun.
We do that, Sister Lena. We have soccer team. We were just jet skiing last week and a couple of weeks ago. So, just kidding. That's right.
How can you solve some of these problems? They exist. They write for you what their problem. Each individual, what they like.
Okay.
And then the third one is our reality. These kids, all of them, they reach an age that the thinking of marriage.
Okay.
And they are really listening. We have to give them reality of what level you have.
Okay.
And of course,
But at least if they cannot get married now, we can talk about that. That yes, you feel it, it's coming, it's there, and talking about way to vent somehow.
like having you feeling that if you just do it, not something you understand football. Recently, in this case, you are going from the slip of the ladder one step to five. You sit now, with the time, you have to invest to yourself, so you will reach to that goal and the future.
That's right. That's right. But on the other hand, if I may interrupt, some parents they really make marriage hard on the kids. So they finish the college or whatever, and whatever cultural things that we having, they make it hard. No, we have to make it easy. We have to talk about it and probably contain that emotions and tell them it's okay to think this way, but we have to contain this for now and keep it for now, and it's coming at the right time and things like that. So give them the hint that it's easy to do that and it's coming, and channel for that too.
Other people, they're going to make it easy for me. You want to say, so again, if you want to say that we have to put our kids in the right environment and the reality of the past.
Yep.
You have to make something of yourself.
Okay.
No one in the whole world, they would give birth that they're closer to someone who has settled from his dad. No one.
But everybody in the beginning of their life, and as long as the person is serious and they are okay. Yep.
Something very important for them that is okay to talk about.
طيب الله يجزيك خير. Okay, I got the point. الله يجزيك خير, Sister Lena. Brother Muhammad, تفضل. Dr. Muhammad. Can you come here, please, if you don't mind? Alaikum assalam.
I think we always talk about bad things, the bad apple, or the good apple. From my point of view, in relating speak to the good person, a good friend, a good brother, on someone who I will not say bad, to someone who went astray.
Okay.
If you see someone that good, we make a team, and we should not avoid individuals. We team to approach one person only. We should not go and approach many at the same time at one point. We have to approach one only so that you will focus on one.
Okay.
You will approach and as the Quran says, ordering the parents, one more another, something like that. We should continuously approaching the youth or their friends and they in their heart they are doing that for the sake of Allah. And they should not also feel that they are better than him.
Okay.
They should approach him with you are our brother, we miss you, yes, even you are doing something wrong, but we are here, we still your brother, and we want to get you back to the right way.
Okay. Got the point.
We see how many youth here attending to us and how many the community we will find that maybe less than 15, 10, 15%. If 3 or 4 of them say, well, this brother didn't see you, or this my friend or something that thing, inshallah next time we'll go as 3 or 4 of us and we will invite him. We'll try to bring him to this. I think it's the
أبشرك يا دكتور محمد. I give you something good, mashallah. Right after Isha, I had like those 3 or 4 people here, and then I told them the same thing. I know that some youth are there, maybe they don't want to take that long time in talks and stuff. Maybe I know they are around here, so I asked them, could you please go approach them, and they did approach some, and they came back with a few more. So I see what you're saying, the positive effect, and it's there. And we should maximize it. And the Prophet ﷺ was using this strategy, not neglecting it. Even if somebody is doing something bad, really bad, one of the major things in Islam, he still belongs to the community. Because they were one time doing the punishment for somebody who always drinks. He is always drunk and he's broke, and punishment is being done to him. And to the level that someone of the community was cursing him, saying, every time you've been brought to be punished like that. Then he said, no, don't do that. Don't judge him and don't be talk to him like this. لا تعينوا الشيطان على أخيكم. Do not support shaitan or devil against your brother. He has done something wrong and he is just paying the price for it right now. So he still belongs to us, and actually you have to support him, not the other way around, because he did something. This is the time that he needs support more than any other time. If nobody has anything else, I would share a few tips with you, and this is mainly for the parents to conclude and not make it extremely long, unless some of the youth can suggest some solutions. And we have a lot of these talks, inshallah. Sharon, you have something? Okay. So this is mainly for the parents. In my very humble opinion, the most important, effective strategy to help the youth is going to be the parents. The masjid is going to help. You're going to do whatever outside to help. But if the parents did not play the role in many cases, I don't know. That's my own humble opinion. I'm not saying that the only role, the most important role is going to be for both parents, and then everything else could support. School cannot make a good person if it doesn't start at home. And masjid, I'm afraid, is not going to make a good of a person if that did not start at home. All of these things would help. So the tips for the parents, actually I'm quoting this from the Sound Vision website, very good website. Tip number 1, 22 tips for the parents to keep Muslim teens Muslims. Take parenting more seriously than you would a full-time job. So again, many parents, we talk about this, they don't give enough time, enough good quality time for their kids. And this is not from the old age, no, from young age, give them time and know that it's trust from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to you, first of all. Allah put you, give you that trust. Tip number 2, reduce or change work hours and exchange them for time with the family. We need to have some family time talking with our parents, with our kids and teens, and getting deep into their issues and noticing if they have, it will show on their face if they have some issues, they're going through things. Then talk to them because this is your son or daughter. You are his father, or mother. So that's it deserves that. Tip number 3, read the Quran, understanding its meaning for 5 minutes, at least for 5 minutes every day. Meaning, educate yourself. Educate yourself first of all by reading for yourself and learn, and then you can pass this along. Number 4, attend weekly halaqah. Be part of something good that's going on. So you be an example, you learn for yourself, and if you go there from young age, since the kids are in young age, they're gonna learn that habit and pick it up from you. Respect your teens. This is one of the important issues. We still, parents deal with the teens as still like kids. Do that, just ordering them to do stuff and not really seeking their views, even if they don't have the best of experience, but in certain issues they can give fresh ideas and fresh things much more than better than anybody else. And even if you don't think it's much more effective, but give them that, teach them that they are part of the family. Do not just decide to move to a different state or make a major change that affects their life without them being part of it. Actually, any small thing, give them tasks and respect them at large. The way you talk to them, do not judge, and that goes to everybody, to the community, not only to the parents. Take an interest in what they do. They are interested in something that the parents are completely not interested in that. No, we need to change and shift our interests. They like to do something, maybe we can like it and we can do it together and we can get to that level. Imagine that your father is doing and loving what you're doing. It's going to make a big difference and going to create some bridges between you. Be aware of the problems and address them straightforward. They have some problems. Address the problem straightforward. Do not, push anything under the rug and let's get over that. No, we have to address those issues. Give them special times. We have the family time. Everybody is there. But when we talk about teens, they would have their own issues. You cannot talk about their issues in front of everybody. Take some time. Invite your son or daughter. Take them. Some special time for them outside. It could be a walk, it could be doing something together, and then you can address their issues and get closer to them. Do not just be your teen's parent, be his or her partner. And that's probably what Sister Lina was talking about. We need to be their partners, not only the higher authority, the higher power that commands. We need to get to that level. Build a masjid in your home, in order for us to teach them Islam. Part of our Islam is to pray together. So designate certain area in the house where somebody can be responsible for. He will be in charge of, waking up his siblings and maybe even the parents and making the adhan and things. A lot of good things will come out with that. Maybe once every week or maybe even once every day when you pray together there. If you don't pray in the masjid, you can have a little talk or something. A lot of good things will come out of that. Do not establish an Islamic library at home. They have access to a lot of things. Make available for them access to Islamic books, Islamic materials, and things like that, and fun materials as well. We might need to search for these good alternatives to be there available to them. Take them out to Islamic activities. We need to fill those voids, and we have those conferences, mashallah, and those Islamic gatherings and even fun things, but we need to do that. It's very important part of their process of bringing them up. Okay. One of the important tips as well is move to racially and religiously mixed neighborhood in your city. Again, kids are just used and comfortable with that circle only. No, we need to open up to other groups and other peoples and other circles, so we can, it's gonna make a person growing up more healthy, being able to talk to different people, deal with different people, regardless of how much they share with him or agree or disagree with him. Okay, establish. Just trying to get over them very quickly. Family meeting, maybe one weekly family meeting where everybody can get together and to strengthen the relationship between them. And I will just jump quickly to the final one, which is making dua, making a lot of dua for them. Before that, get them married early. If they get to the age of marriage and minimum requirements are there, make it easy for them and help them to get married. And finally, make dua, make a lot of dua for them. Before I conclude, I would repeat some of the solutions that we discussed tonight. I'm sure that this is just an opening for a lot of things to come, but it's not meant to be comprehensive. But for the sake of time, we'll put everything together, inshallah. Yusuf in the beginning, Yusuf Ibn, he highlighted the importance of we need to take parents seriously by learning how to do that. Maybe read some books about that. We have to learn how to be a good parent. Teach by example. That's Brother Taysir is telling us we have to teach them by example. Brother Abu Ubaidah, he talks about some scientific things. We need to be aware, educate ourselves about the bad consequences of doing drugs. And Yusuf also talk about open forum for them to vent and talk about their issues. Brother Muhammad Sami, he talked about education and maybe what happened. We see what happened to other people when they go this way or that way because things look attractive in the beginning. And I'm giving you this quickly that example. Every time I go to visit the prison, just visiting, wallahi, I come back very grateful to the ni'mah, the grace and the blessing of freedom. When I'm coming out, I know this person, majority of them, they are there because of drugs. Because of drugs. They are there. And I know I'm leaving now, I'm going home, I enjoy driving and go about my day, do whatever I want to do with my day. But I know I see those big walls and big fences, and those people are there. They can't, some of them are there for life. I mean, they're not going to get out. Or they tell me, oh, yeah, it's still 3 more years, 5 more years. Oh my God, I'm going to go and 3 years and he's still there. It's a feeling that I cannot describe. It's very good that I'm out, I'm released, I'm outside. But again, it's very hurting to know that somebody's going to be there locked out. So think about that and see consequences of doing things before you do them. Being them drugs or anything else against the law. Brother Midhat again highlighted the very important thing of participating in the society, and he talks about the personal level, the family level, and the community level. But I got the point as very important point to participate in the society at large. Brother Ahmed Qinawi, he talked about the effects of the peer pressure or the kids or the youth that our kids are hanging out with. This is very important. We have to watch for that because they definitely affect us. Umar or Al Bibi, he talked about shaping the identity, and we have to make our identity ourselves and not wait for somebody else to shape that for us or be affected by others. But Muhammad Abu Ila also highlighted the very importance of participation in the community at large, and he has the events. I encourage everybody to support him, talk to him for more details, and support him April 21st from 5 to 7 in Gulf Coast. Muslim youth are trying to do something, getting together. So please help them and support them. Dr. Ahmed Abu Bakr talked about the time management. This period of life is, you don't focus on one thing. You want to do a million things, but it's very important to have some kind of management for your time and one thing at a time, so you can achieve things. Sister Lina talked about befriending your kids and being the partners, and she elaborated on that. Dr. Muhammad Hussein talked about the positive effect of the group of the youth, of the good people, that they can pull back the person who's doing something bad. They can get him back to the right track. So we're going to talk more about this, inshallah. And again, we are making those discussions here available and possible because we need to deal with our issues. we have different issues with different sections, immigrants, new Muslims, youth, sisters. We will address them all and talk about them all, inshallah. We're just talking about the youth things right now. And please feel free. Know that your parents, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you as a trust for them. They are there to help you and they love you very much and help them also be good parents for you. Parents, you have to take that seriously. I know we're talking on a smaller level, but I mean, I made an announcement in Jum'ah. I encourage people after Isha. But again, people who are taking things serious will always attend. People who have other priorities, I mean, everybody has his own excuse anyway. But inshallah, masjid is open. I am open myself. We will make everything possible, inshallah, to deal with all of these issues. So feel free to come up with any ideas that help us put together programs that can solve these issues, that can make you accommodate you better or deal with your issues, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. By this, we come to the end of that discussion. جزاكم الله خيرا وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين.